battery. It's beautiful just to ride it. Biggest inspiration on the Norwegian scene, atmosphere, we had enough metal from before, so battery mysteriously added this atmosphere to it, furthermore dividing the metal scene into, well, this ain't metal, but it's sure as hell obscure. And the people that went with battery, I guess, had to end up in the black metal 90s rally. The whole Viking. Pagan vibe, also a big hit, as we see in the 90s. So as we see from the facts here, it's clear that battery, in my eyes, is really the most important band. He also had the very raspy, witchy vocals. Mark, let's go back at that. This is where the audience should go, duh! Number one essential album. But still, they released the Death Crush Mini and they just lived on reputation only in the late 80s. I went to rehearsals and came like awestruck back, and I did a show in like '89, which is legendary. Dead with the corpse paint and all. Got the corpse paint started again. Let's just call it a corpse paint. Revival. Sarcophago. Use corpse paint. And they're fucking from Brazil. I'm telling you, man. You're almost in itself, in himself it's like an aspect to me, man. You want to include, he was keeping a lot of the occult scene. I guess he was one of the people that kept all these bands together and all the other obscure bands in the underground, because what I'm describing here is not a musical style, it's a different bands that has something to do, it sounds, a lot of them totally different, has something to do with metal, something to do with obscurity, something to do with the occult. So there's no style, so there's no people buying it. You know, like death metal was starting to get big here, thrash metal was selling shitloads. Like, didn't have anyone buying this stuff, so there was an underground thing. You're almost plus I have to say that they invented the typical Norwegian. Black metal riff. It sort of derived from battery, but it was a new way of playing a riff that had really not been done and not been stylized by anyone before. That's what Snorre and Jonas did, and to my knowledge they did this in '89. Well, you have a chord and you have fuzz, but you don't play 1-1, you play 1-1 up and down, and you have the notes cling together so that you have the fucking eerie notes and they all stream together, creating this incredible eerie sound. Like, sends fucking chills down your spine if you're able to adapt it. Around 91 or something, or 90, Mayhem releases a live album, which we could safely say is the first Norwegian black metal album. A lot of people says it's our second album, Blaze Northern Sky. Some people say it's the first version, but it's basically wrong. Live in Leipzig from Mayhem is the first. I forgot. I gotta say, man, in '91 when Jonas opened up shop, there really weren't a lot of bands apart from this. I could even add something here. Let's see. It starts to get shady from here, I'm telling you, so I'm not going to go into that. I'm just calling it the metalheads, and that's it. But at the time here, we really had no press at all. It was just this Norwegian clique, and we were all listening to all that, more or less, give or take a few bands for, and that's why we had a similar sound. Jonas actually was starting a label was probably cool for like 80 people around the world. Like really globally, because it's always been global. Jonas made a big point by having a huge map in his office, having pins in the map from where he had contacts. Always want to have contacts in Africa and shit like that. He craved that. The quality of the music, for instance, was not important for him as long as it were from a troubled situation that it was supposed to be like a struggle to be a metaler. You should be hated. Important. I'm feeling like I've completed, I'm feeling like I'm going to feel when I complete the Dark Knight album. One huge chore that I feel sliding off my shoulders now. Yeah.